Hi, everybody. Um, I was nervous about wanting to film this, but I feel the need to speak out. I'm coming to the end of a very serious illness. Like I was sick most of the summer. I've lost 30 pounds in like 2.5 months. I mean, it was a really tough time for me. Like I spent most of the time in the hospital, and 5 ER visits a week in the hospital, and like back and forth all the time with different doctor's appointments and all. And um and I couldn't help but think, like, am I being punished? And and I and I started to pray about it, and I realized, no, I'm not being punished. I feel that God needed me to be still long enough for him to talk to me. And what what I feel was being said is that, like, I feel that you know the 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 end times, we are living in them, and and God is and will call his people home, and it is time to confess to confess your sins, and go back to Jesus. And and that and and that is what happened. Like, I had gone back to God about a year ago, and then just little by little just kind of tapered off a bit. It's not that we weren't going to church, we were. It wasn't like forefront on my mind, and until I got so very sick, and realized, hey, this this life, this fleshy life, is but a season, compared to how long eternity is. And I took I took a good look around and was thinking, oh my goodness, we are absolutely living in it. And and it is most certainly time to go back to God. And since I was so very ill and couldn't, and was pretty much like bedridden, um, I I took up reading, like, not just the Bible, but this book is called Crazy Love: Overwhelmed by a Relentless God. Francis Chan. I started a reading group with a friend of mine, and this book is amazing. And it's like, and it just talks about, like, just how awesome it is, to have a creator that absolutely adores you. And this one is a book that is actually being read at the Bible study at my church, and I've been too ill to go, but my friends at church were so nice enough to bring me that book while I was in the hospital. When it's called "When People Are Big and God is Small: Overcoming Peer Pressure and Codependency and the Fear of Man." And that this book absolutely speaks to my heart, because, like, I can't tell you how terrified I am to, like, bring up Jesus to people that you know I work with, or even scarier, my parents, or any other family but when I think about like what is happening in hell right now, because heaven is real, and so is hell. You think about your loved ones, and do you really want to not say anything and your loved ones like not be saved? I can't bear that. I have to at least try. And I just I am so I'm so freaked out about it's like about the possibility of like talking to my mom or dad about Jesus, but I'm every day building up the guts to bring it up, because I don't want them to burn in eternal hellfire. I mean, I was raised Catholic, and so were they. And they would be the first to look me straight in the eye and tell me that the way that they'd get to heaven is by being a good person and good works, and that's not the way. And it doesn't matter how good you are. The question is like, have you given your heart to Christ? And are you willing? Are you willing to give up these earthly goods, for an eternity with your Father in heaven? And even if they turn me away, I have to try. And even if it's only a couple of people or just one person that watches this video and gets the guts to like talk to their friends or family about God, now's the time, because the end of all this is near, and Jesus is coming back, and he will take his people home. And don't you want your friends and your family to be among those people? I know I do. I absolutely do. And I've got to get over this nervousness, and these books are super helpful. And because it talks about like the fear of rejection. I mean, nobody wants to be rejected. Nobody, least of all me. I mean, I want people to like me. I want people to want to be around me. It's like, I don't want people to unfriend me because I talk about God. But you know what? I still post about God anyway, because he's working in my life, and it's a big deal, and it's a big deal to me. And and I believe that that he's absolutely helped me get better. And my family and my friends were horrified that they were going to lose me. I was horrified that I was that I didn't want to let myself even think the words that I was dying, but it did cross my mind, where it's like, is this the end? And if it is, where is my soul going? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about where your soul's going? And have you thought about where where the souls of your friends and family are going? And if you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, even just for a couple of minutes, to ask them how they feel about Jesus. I had to say it. I had to get this out there, and step out of my comfort zone and put this video out, even though it scares me to death. But here I am. Thank you all for listening, and I really hope that you witness to someone today. Even if you save one soul, that is one soul that is going to be eternally happy. Think about that. Okay, everybody have a blessed day. Thanks.